Welcome to the Leavenworth Coffee Podcast. My name is Mike. Got Eric with me.
What's up?
This is going to be our first time doing something like this. We're not going to edit it or do anything extra. We may get interrupted with customers coming into the shop because we're doing this in the back of the shop, but one of us will keep it going. So we'll start off with a brief introduction, or history of the shop, I should say. So we started out back in 2015. We originally started with 3 owners that eventually changed in the first year to 2 owners, and we've been going solid the last 4 years now. We started out in a 500 square foot bay, and we've now expanded into 1,000 square feet, and we're still going strong. We'll be celebrating our 4-year anniversary on November 20th, so make sure you come by for the party. So now we're going to jump into some news, starting with CBD stuff, specifically related to Nebraska. So Pete Ricketts was in an article with the Omaha World Herald this week talking about CBD and THC and how apparently most of our counties in Nebraska are no longer bothering to prosecute small marijuana cases because they now have to send off the product that you get caught with to be tested in a laboratory outside of Nebraska.
Yeah, the only thing I don't really get out of that is the times where they're trying to make people pay. I couldn't imagine spending $2,000 to find somebody that could test it and them actually believing whoever you find that would do it.
Yeah, so we no longer have to worry about getting caught with small amounts of the CBD flower or anything. We get a lot of questions about that when people are purchasing flower, if they get pulled over, if they're going to have problems with it. So we do make lab results available and stuff like that, but we always tell people that you could potentially get a ticket and they'll have to fight it in court, but most likely it's going to get thrown out because they're going to waste their money and pay for this test, and they're going to realize that they wasted their time and money. Similar story in Philadelphia. Court case this week ruled that it's illegal to search strictly based on the smell of cannabis, for the same reasons. So because you can't discern the difference in the smell between THC and CBD, it's no longer probable cause to do a search. So awesome news on both sides.
Yeah, that's a big one. Those dogs won't be able to put in any work, if that's what you want to call it.
Right, we're going to put the dogs out of business. There's also the first CBD energy drink that we've heard about coming out. They're supposed to be dropping in the next week or so. This is put out by a company called Kill Cliff, and they're going to be adding 25 milligrams of CBD along with other vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, stuff like that. And then this is put on by a company that is ran by Navy SEALs, and they aim to raise $1 million for the Navy SEAL Foundation. So potentially a good drink, working for a good cause. Have we seen any CBD energy drinks yet?
Not energy drink. There's the pre-workouts that I've seen, and then the pre-workout shots, but not a true energy drink that's on its own.
Right. So good for energy, and then good for recovery. So all around good for a workout.
And it tastes like orange soda. You can't really beat that.
Orange soda is always good. Now let's talk about Mike Tyson this week. So Mike Tyson has a weed farm in California, and he was in the news this week claiming that he smokes $40,000 worth of weed a month. Now, personally, I don't feel like that's possible unless he's using cop math, where like you get busted with a few joints and they tell you that it's worth $1,000 somehow. Even at the California retail prices, smoking $40,000 of weed for one person is just an insane amount. I mean, even with 10 people, that's an insane amount. What do you think about this?
He says it's 10 tons a month. I don't know how you could manage this. That would literally have to be all day, every day. 10 tons in a month? How many pounds is a ton? 1,000?
I don't math that good.
I don't either.
So now we have a customer. Eric's going to jump off and help that. But yeah, we'd love to hear your guys' feedback on this one. There's just absolutely no way that one person, again, even with his entourage, unless he happens to have an entourage of 50 or 100 people, we just don't see that as feasible. We'd also like to talk about this Jenny water pipe. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but this is a completely gravity-based water pipe. So you just load it and tilt it one direction, and then you bend it back the other direction, and it doesn't even have a mouthpiece. You just hit it from the air. It just forces it out. So a good play on the old gravity bongs that we used to use back in the day. This company also had a similar device before that was more similar to the regular gravity water pipes that we used to use, where it loaded on the top and then you flip it over once the smoke's in there and hit it out of that. So it's good to see people coming out with more innovation in the industry and not just sticking to standard water pipes that you load on the bottom and have to hit on the top and stuff like that. So that's all we have for this week. We're going to try to keep these under 10 minutes, fast, brief. Follow us on social media, Leavenworth Coffee Inc. on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. This podcast will be available on YouTube and Apple, Google, pretty much any place that you can get a podcast from. So stay tuned, give us some feedback, let us know what you want to hear about, what you don't want to hear about. Have a good day.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.